Welcome everyone, this is Zozo Stockwatch, and this is the Stockwatch list for Tuesday, October 24th. So before I get into the Stockwatch list, I just wanted to go over some calls that we made in the service today at zozostockwatch.com, and we called dries, alright, and this gets, we call this over the mic and we type it in the room at 9:55, dries over 405, stop break of 395. Okay, so there's the entry, there's the stop given. It's also called on the mic and alerted on the microphone. And here was the entry. Over 405, stock went up to about $4.20 on that first call. Then I was watching dries again, and we called it again over 405. Stock gets over 405, and then it triggers and goes up to about $4.43. So we called dries 2 times today and got 2 nice trades. Now we didn't get all of this. I sold some around that 420 spot because I thought I was gonna, fade out, and then I sold more at $4.30. But 2 nice day trades right there on dries, called over the microphone for the members in our room at zozostockwatch.com. Another stock that we traded today, and that was STX. And STX had some nice action in it this morning, and I'll bring over the room again. And here is STX, and I'll highlight it for you. All right, 1029 STX over 38.25, stop break of 38.10. So risking about 16 cents on a $38 stock. And there was the call, if you can see it better, 38.25, and then here is the action. Here's the action in STX. All right, and so we get over 38.25, and the stock continues up to about 38.61, I think it was the highest point, but you get the idea. We made almost $1 in this trade. Now we were selling and trimming and trailing on the way up. After that, this big move up, I got on the microphone and said, well, we'll watch this thing if it can get back over 38, and I picked the 38.25 because 25 is one of those levels that stocks need to clear. It's kind of like that natural resistance spot. We get over the 38.25, and then we continued up for almost over $1 in this trade on STX, and that was another trade that we did from the room. So come check out my service if you want to try it. Here's the home page for zozostockwatch.com. Then click on the Join Me button. And as you see, if you want to try us for 7 days, you could try us for $9.99, and then after that you have your different choices. We also do swing trading, $29.95 for the swing trading. So if you want to come and check us out, you can check us out for the whole thing for $9.99 for 7 days, or you can just jump in if you're just a swing trader and be a member for $29.95 for swing trading. And if you want the monthly subscription, it's $84.95, and you can be in the service for $84.95. Now, one other thing, during the day, we constantly have our scans up. You're currently looking at the after hours scans and the Trade Exchange news box. So all members get the screen share of the news box. They also get scans throughout the day. Right now I'm just showing you the after hours scans, but we have pre-market scans, and we also have low float scans, momentum scans, and those get shown during the day to our members. So basically I'm sharing my trade ideas scans with them. We're sharing news. The news is also audioed into the room. So you're also getting all this as part of the package. You get to see the scans, and you also get the news audioed into the room, and also you get to see the news on my from my screen share, and that's shown all day in the room. So just another benefit of the membership at zozostockwatch.com. All right, so let's go ahead and get into some news that happened after the bell tonight. ICPT had news after the bell. And that stock had popped, announces positive results for phase 2, and that was ICPT right there. And the stock popped, then pulled back, and just kind of drifting right now in the after hours. We'll go ahead and take a look and see if there was anything else. Amgen had some news after the bell, AMGN, and that stock popped but then pulled back a little bit. If we scroll down, we did have some earnings. We had a Rambus RMBS, and that stock earnings per share and revenue beat, and you see Rambus popped, then pulled back, and then ended up kind of in the middle of the range there. QURE public offering, QURE public offering after the bell. That stock sold off. Next up we had Zion, ZION. That's a bank, and they were in line, so not much reaction there in Zion. Also for earnings, we had JBT earnings, and earnings per share beat, revenue miss, and not much reaction there for JBT. Also, we also had Whirlpool come out with earnings after the bell, WHR, and that stock, big reaction there. Adjusted earnings per share misses estimates, so they missed on estimates, earnings per share and revenue miss on WHR, and you see the drop down there in Whirlpool in the after hours. Let's see, Riot, Streetwise reports examines Riot's blockchain acquisition of tests, and let's see if there was any action in Riot in the after hours. Not really on RIOT. What else do we have? Some top insider purchases after hours, and this is all provided by the trade exchange, courtesy of the trade exchange. OCSL, PLSE. Let's see if PLSE did anything in the after hours. No. And DFRG, and that stock actually dropped in the after hours. And then some syndicate news. We had some offerings and whatnot, QURE, etc. And then we have AGN. CEO was on Kramer just a little while ago, and AGEN, and not much reaction in that stock at all in the after hours. And then you see some earnings before the market opens tomorrow. All right, so earnings season is in full force, and you see here some names, Caterpillar and whatnot. And then after hours tomorrow, some more names coming out, some big names, etc. I'm not going to rattle them off to you. So for your earnings calls for tomorrow, you have Tuesday. This is courtesy of Earnings Cast, and you can see the list of earnings calls tomorrow. So conference calls, and here's some more for the after hours tomorrow. So just go to earningscast.com, calendar daily, and you'll be able to see those. For the calendar of events tomorrow, we went over the earnings already. Not too much on our plate as far as economic. The Red Book, Richmond Fed manufacturing, and then API crude oil comes out. We do have an Asian number coming out tonight, PMI from Japan at 8:30. And so, but mostly earnings are in focus right now. A lot of earnings. The futures right now, it's around 7:25 p.m. Eastern time, my time. Dow futures are up about 18, S&P futures up 1, NASDAQ futures up 5. And then for your call activity today, DYN, few call activities on DYN, Mondelez, Dunkin', First Solar was very strong today. Merck, CLMU, ROKU, Roku had some unusual call activity. And then put activity, Juniper, Under Armour, JCI, RCII, Teva, and FCX, all with unusual put activity in those names. Some of your top gainers today: SNES, EXAC, PETS, PETS, STX, SRRA. This was an upgrade, I believe. VFC and PSTI was a nice move today, and CUB. And then you see your stocks: Mankind was down, Roku down, HIG and NETE were some of your losers for today. Let's go ahead and take a look at a few markets just to get a feel for how the day was. The SPY pushed down. It was about 64 million in volume today. I know we had this nice run up, and you could expect a little bit of a pullback, but we only pulled back to the 5 EMA here. We're still above all the moving averages. We haven't even broken down below the 10 SMA on the SPY. QQQ was a little weaker on the day. See this kind of engulfing candle here, and we broke through the 10, and we're trying to hold around this 13 EMA, the dotted purple line you see here, and we're still above the 20 SMA for the Qs, but definitely more downside action there on the QQQ. Some names like Amazon took a little bit of a hit today here. Amazon down almost 2% for the day. Google, so the FANG stocks really took a hit today. See the action here in Google pushing down to the 20 SMA. Facebook pushing down to the 50 SMA after looking like it was going to break out on Facebook. Netflix also moving down to about the 20 SMA. Apple trying to still get over this 50 SMA. No dice yet with Apple getting over that 50 SMA. Tesla, weakness here, and coming up to this 150 SMA here after kind of failed breaking out over this 360 spot that everybody was kind of watching there on Tesla. And there's the lines there. We tried to get over this 360, kind of a head fake move here. And usually from, false breakouts, you get fast moves down. And that's kind of like what we're getting here on Tesla. IBB was down quite a bit today. That was down over 1% for the day, and we are coming down to the 50 SMA on the IBB. IWM, this pulled back. We couldn't get back over this resistance here, so we came back down on the IWM to about the 20 SMA. It's still not major damage done here. And then the IWC kind of pulling back below the 20 SMA, but we're still above this 94 spot on the IWC. All right, so that's a few markets, a little bit of the action. Let's go ahead and get into the watch list for tomorrow. So here's the chart of AMBA. We're going to kick it off with AMBA, and there's a lot of eyes on this to see if it can break out over this 55 area on AMBA. Now it's had a nice reversal here already, so I don't know how much more we can expect out of the stock. It was up almost 3% for the day on AMBA, so even if it breaks that 55, I'm not sure how much more it has in it, but keep your eye on it. But I'm not expecting much on that name. AMD, nice run up, pulled back, holding the 13 EMA. If it gets out over that 1425 spot on AMD, maybe we get a continuation move up. ATOS, an under $1 name, volume came into the name. It's starting to break out of this, consolidation here. Still with the 200, up in the 80-cent area. So you might get a pop in this ATOS. Just looking to see if it did anything after hours. Not really. So that's ATOS. AVIR, nice turn up, under $1 name here again. If it gets over the highs today of 85 cents or so, maybe this one will have a continuation move. Could possibly fill this gap area here on AVIR. CCCR, a lot of topping candles here on the name, but if it ever gets over this 375, $4 area, it could pop nicely. Needs a little more volume, but not a bad looking chart if it can get back over that 375. CRIS, I believe this was upgraded in the after hours tonight. Popped up to about $1.74. And then pulled back on CRIS. So, I'll have it on watch. Not a favorite. DEST, it's had a nice run here. We'll see if maybe it wants to continue up. Maybe some type of red to green on that name. First Solar was kind of strong today. Nice pop here, almost up 2.5% for the day on First Solar. I believe they have earnings this week, so just be careful with that if you play it. CSIQ, another solar that looked pretty good. If you can get over this 1650 area, CSIQ, JKS, turn the corner, but I like the other two better. And then there's JASO. This one, maybe if it gets back over that 750 area, on Zozo. So you know, keep your eye on that one maybe. And let's see, next up on the watch list we have HFC. This is a refiner now. It's had a big run, but if it can break out over this 37 spot here, you might get a continuation move up. Now, if it can't break out over this 37, we might have a short here on HFC. You can kind of use a break of 37 as your stop, maybe like 37.15 or so, and, you know, short it here, and you know, see if you can get, you know, a breakdown in HFC. All right, so keep that one on your watch. I would let it pop a little bit maybe and then try to short it, but just an idea. It seems like 37 is giving it some resistance. HTGM, we actually played this one, and I'll show you that one towards the end of the day. And we played this. We had to play this one twice actually, and I'll show you why. We tried it, you know, right here. This is a 2-minute chart, but we should be on a 5-minute. Yeah, that makes it more clear. We tried playing it right here on the breakout, and it just didn't want to go, right? We had this big pop during the lunchtime hour, and then it pulled back, and then it was kind of consolidating here. Well, you know, that's why you keep your losses small. It popped up here. I thought it was going to go, and then it pulled back on us, so we got out for a couple of pennies lost, not too much. And then we were watching it again, and we called it again, and a nice pop here up to, you know, 290. And as always, we trim and trail and pay ourselves. But a nice afternoon trade in HTGM as it moved up nicely. First time, you know, did not work. A few cents, 3-cent loss, and that's going to happen sometimes in day trading. And then we played it again, and we got a nice pop there. So you always keep your losses small. This way you can either play the same name again, or you can play something else. And that was HTGM. So, you know, we'll have this on watch for tomorrow maybe on that name. And we'll see if it wants to, you know, give us another setup in that name. Next one up, we had INFI, and this one popped. All right, now it's pulled back. It's holding this 13 EMA. You know, I like it better if it can get back over, you know, that 250 spot. So we'll see on that one. MARK, they had some news this morning, so the stock moved up a little bit. We'll keep it on watch. You know, 400,000 shares, not a lot of volume. Next one up is MTBC, kind of just basing here. You know, not my favorite setup, but it is consolidating. So, you know, another one that I would like it to get over 350. MU, holding steady here, trying to get back over 42 area here. So this one's kind of consolidating, as you can see, and we'll move this to there. You know, if it ever gets back over this 42 and holds, that could be interesting for a continuation move up. MYOS, you know, kind of popped today, but light volume, 192,000 shares, but it is turning the corner. I guess they have to start somewhere, right? So it's back over the 50 SMA, so we'll see if there's any kind of setup in that one. MYOS. OHGI popped 1.9 million shares. You know, if it gets over this 200 SMA or this 125, 127 area on OHGI, might go. And, you know, I forgot to check the SMH today in the when I was going over the indexes, and you could see the SMH remained pretty strong today. You know, SMH was still a leader in the group and held up very nicely today. So that was a strong aspect of the market today. Next stock up, PSTI. Let's get rid of this line here. It's kind of too many lines right now, but PSTI, you know, if it gets over this 190, 191 area on PSTI, you could get a possible continuation move in this name. Held up pretty well today. You see it's holding above the 10 SMA on the name, so keep your eye on that one. RGSE, just because it's a solar name and the other solars were running today, so, you know, if this can ever, you know, get back over maybe 250, maybe we get a continuation move in that. Today it didn't look so hot though. RIOT, this is one of those blockchain stocks. It was popping, flopping, had big spreads in it, was kind of impossible to get a trade-off in it. But we'll try again tomorrow, see if it wants to do something. SNES, you know, big pop in this, so we'll see how it sets up intraday, big volume, and we'll see if that one wants to set up. Another one, another solar name that had a big pop in it. Maybe this one will set up for us tomorrow. SSRA, This one got over this 175 spot. Let's see if it sets up intraday. I believe it had a upgrade today on that name. STX. I'll be looking for another trade in this STX tomorrow. Since we played it today so well, we'll see if we can get a continuation or some kind of setup in STX. TEAR, you know, over 200,000 shares, not a lot of volume, but you know, it seems to be maybe wanting to turn the corner here at the 50 SMA, so keep your eye on that. VBLT, you know, if it can get back over 650 or so, maybe this one will make a continuation move, but a lot of topping tails, and volume was only 400,000 shares, so we'll see. Not a favorite there. XGTI, you know, I saw this pop here, and now that I'm looking at the chart again, I'm kind of changing my mind. I think it popped. Did it pop in after hours? Yeah, it popped in after hours up to $1.62 and then faded off. So, you know, I'm not too keen on that one. XNET, you know, you had this big run up, then it pushes up again, pulls back. So we'll see if this sets up intraday tomorrow. Another one that's not a favorite. Another one is, and I forgot to put it on my list, I'll add it now, is this GEVO maybe. If it can get over the highs today, GEVO, over 75, 76 cents, maybe for a continuation move up to 85 cents on this name. You see it's been consolidating. Maybe it wants to turn the corner. 2.3 million shares in this GEVO. And let me go ahead before I forget and add this GVO into the watch list for myself. So don't forget, guys, if you want to check out my service, all right, for $9.99, you can come and try us for 7 days. You know, it's all on the up and up. All the calls are made prior to the trigger. They're called over the microphone. They're typed. I would say, you know, 95% of the time they're typed in the room. Sometimes it's busy in day trading. You just have to call them over the microphone. But I do try to honestly get them all in the room as, you know, best I can. But they're all alerted on the microphone. And, you know, there's no shenanigans. If you're just a swing trader and you don't have time to sit at your computer all day, $29.95, you get access to the private feed for swing trades, all right? And we also give you 3 days of access to Zozo Stock Watch chat room if you join this $29.95. And then if you join the $9.99, you get on the private feed. You get 7 days as if you were a real customer, a real member. And, you know, then, you know, we'll cut you off or whatever. You make sure you cancel prior to the 7 days. So, you know, if you don't like the service, you don't get charged. But anyway, there's that opportunity to try us, or you can just go for a monthly and try us that way. All right. So this has been Zozo Stock Watch. Thank you so much for listening. My real name is Mike. Come check out my service at zozostockwatch.com. Thank you so much for listening on YouTube. Thank you for following me on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button if these videos are helping you. Have a wonderful morning or night whenever you watch these videos. Bye now.